put on anything. I'm running out of it. But the idea is that there is a difference between stage and film. There's a big difference. And I think those are how the light bounces off a stage actor and how the light becomes the actor. So the film actor can wash over you, but the stage actor always has the ability to change you and has a powerful effect on you because they're right there in front of you. And in film, they're not. So in film, we can tweak their performance because I also edit my own films. And I will tweak their performance to make them seem more real than what you think they would be. So if you saw Robert De Niro in a stage production, you're not going to see the same Robert De Niro as you saw in Taxi Driver or even in The Irishman or even in any of his films because he's not being tweaked. On stage, if he makes some kind of mistakes or loses focus, he can't be tweaked by Thelma Shoemaker and edited. You see that mistake that he makes. I think what the stage actor knows is that he can make those mistakes in front of you and still find a way to get himself out of that corner. Like a writer can write himself out of a corner and keep the story going. The stage actor can write himself or get himself out of a bad situation, like if there's a line that's dropped. I know here's another thing about stage actors, they can have a lot of fun. I know in England, and I don't know if I can think of their names, but these actors would pass around a stamp to keep the performance alive. I think Stephen Patrick Morrissey, wore a stamp on his forehead in a photo. I think he was not quoting, but he was referring to these actors. I'm going to be cut off here in a minute. But they would put the stamp like behind their ear and they would trade it with another actor on stage and he would put it on their neck and then he would trade it with this actor so the audience couldn't see this, so they were keeping on their toes because it's really like an Olympic event. Theater is, I mean, you have to keep on your toes literally like a dancer, but you're remembering these lines and things are going and they're passing this stamp around. Now I don't know if they do this stuff in film. I'm sure that there's some jokes that people play on each other and stuff, but theater, it's more of kind of a culture of people that we say break a leg backstage. This is one thing I wanted to talk about. The prop table. Like, we know what the prop table is in theater. So when you're backstage, you got that prop table where everything's outlined. You got the hammer where the hammer goes. Then you go by and you pick this up and you go on stage and you got the hammer and then you go back and then you put the hammer back on the prop table. So then the other actor can come over and grab the hammer and then go back out with the hammer and then place it back on the prop table where the audience can't see it. So there's a lot of things going on in the theater physically that you have to remember. And stage, it's a lot of, I guess, remembering placement and blocking and stuff. While in film, it's a lot of make-believe and a lot of imagination and a lot of pretending. And you can kind of relax a little bit more in film. In theater, you're on your toes and you want to read a certain way. But what I've always noticed, especially in the theater, the best actors that are out there, they're not really always playing for the audience, even though we're trained to do that in the theater. Because I'm telling you how our eyes are like lasers and how powerful, when I saw Anna Paquin just do something very simple, as if she was doing it maybe for the camera. But that is so powerful in the theater when you're not trying to put on something for the audience. You're just behaving. Here's an example too, if I can recall it. And I don't think I can recall it. It's a train of thought thing. Well, darn, because none of this is scripted right here, or at least I say it's not. But let's say if that went on in the theater, we can cover many ways. We panic and our heart starts beating like, oh no, I lost the line. But something brilliant can come out of that right in front of the audience, and it's how you respond to dropping of a line. In film, that's harder to do because you can always just say cut, go back, erase it. Oh, I forgot my line. I don't think it should be handled any different. I think theater acting and film acting is pretty much the same. What we learn in the film is that the camera is going to be right here. So we can't be afraid of something dropping. But a shot can go on for a long time. The only thing that a stage actor can't really do is look at the audience and go, you know what, I'm in a play, and that stuff has happened. Al Pacino has stopped in the middle of a performance and went over and answered someone's phone. Said, "Hey, I'm in the middle of a play. Could you please call him?" And the audience loved it, and it was the right thing to do at that moment. And that's another thing too. It's the moment, because I'm sure Al Pacino is brilliant in the theater, but in film, I think you can do the same things that you can do in theater. You can do this. They can be the same thing. It's only going to be interpreted different by the audience because they're not in the same room and it's blinking really bad. Anyway, that's all I want to say is that it's still basically the same acting. And don't try to change it any more than you'd be in the theater. You can even barely whisper and be heard all the way across the room or all the way across the theater house, all the way to the back of the wall. You can hear a whisper, but you may not be able to be as quiet as you could in maybe film. But I like the fact that you can still be